Hello, hello, hello. What's good, everybody? How you doing? How you feeling today? There we go. That's what I'm looking for. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? It's your boy Mark Summers, MajorLinux, twitch.tv/MajorLinux, and it's time once again for another episode of the MajorLinux Show. Ahoy. I'm assuming it's Swooshy Cube. I think that's what that is. I don't know. Hey, correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you for following. Thank you for subbing. I caught that 5 days ago. Sweet. That is how you say it. That's fantastic. I love being correct. Not right, just correct. Let's see here. Hope everybody's doing all right. Hope the weekend treated you nice. Definitely want to give two shout outs today. Happy birthday to my son. Today is his birthday. He's turning 7. And happy birthday to my dad, who is turning, I don't know, he is as old as dirt. I stopped counting years ago. And I'm sure he has too. Actually, I think he's 69. Nice. If I remember correctly, yeah, I think he is 69 this year. Now that I've done that math, I'm gonna have to go over there and joke with him. Yeah, nice, huh? Yeah. Anywho, we've got some stuff to get into. What am I? I'm not. What is he talking about? What? Oh. Wolfkin. Of course, I'm looking at a Mastodon user's response to the iPhone announcement stuff, and that's what we're here to do today. No bones about it. Again, this is my annual time. Well, this is one of the few times when Apple has an announcement. They announce a lot of things, and yes, as somebody who uses Apple products, and for a company that tells you a lot of stuff that they're doing, and I feel like I am slowly falling in here. I think my chair is sinking again. I need to fix that. For a company that, does marketing very well to where they will translate all their technical bits into something that does make sense for the average consumer, I get really excited about, because listening to a Microsoft presentation, listening to a Google presentation is what? Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to have to deal with. But at least with Apple, they will give you consumer beats, and it's like, okay, this somewhat makes sense. I understand what's happening here. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into that, get that out of the way, so that way I do not front load or just monopolize the Tech Talk Thursday conversation with reactions to anything that Apple does, because I am known to do so. So let's get into that, shall we? Of course, it's going to switch over to a blank screen, but I will get that fixed in a second. There we go. So yes, the iPhone 17, not iPhone 17, the iPhone 15 event, there's 7 big announcements. Of course, you can check the, I'm not sure if the full video is available yet. They tend to announce it somewhere. Actually, let's go. We can probably take a look. See youtube.com/Apple. It is. So the full event is available. It is separated into chapters. So hey, have at it. But this is courtesy of The Verge. We've got the 7 biggest announcements, at least according to The Verge. All I know is that, hey, they created a nice little post that has all the announcements that I want to talk about. So this is what I'm going to refer to. Of course, they had it was the Apple Watch and the iPhone, nothing else. They were not announcing anything else. Although they did make a brief mention of a third product, but is an existing product that's just getting a port change. And we will get into that in a bit. First and foremost, of course, the big thing, the reason why we were all here, the iPhone 15 lineup. It adds USB-C. The dynamic island is now available on all the devices. Just a little bit more. Of course, this is talking about the iPhone 15 and iPhone 15 Plus. So not necessarily the entry models, but the everyman's iPhone, I guess. Of course, they are switching USB-C, which is something that a lot of people have been asking for, or at least a lot of people in the tech space have been asking for a while. Everybody who's been covering tech and who has multiple devices that use USB-C, like controllers, handheld computing devices, or just other computing devices, keyboards, a lot of modern devices that have come out and that need to be charged. Most of them have converted over to USB-C. The iPhone, like Android, I've got 2 Android phones here that are running off of USB-C. The iPhone was kind of like the last device, and granted, it was the only device that was using a proprietary charger up until a certain point. Everybody was using micro USB until USB-C came along. But iPhone was still on the 30 pin, then the Lightning, and now finally they're on USB-C. So now there is one cable, one port to rule them all. Oh my God, thank you, Apple, for finally doing so. Or no, I'm sorry. Let's not thank Apple for that. Let's thank the European Union for saying, yo, dog, like in like a year, 2 years, you're gonna have to do it. Of course, I think it was MKBHD, was speculating that Apple did not have to switch it this year. They didn't have to do it this year. They had at least till like 2024, 2025 to do it. But MKBHD was speculating, I want to say about 2 or 3 years ago, that Apple would sooner get rid of the port than switch to USB-C. That was not the case. I think that, granted, because they have MagSafe now, they have the wireless charging, that maybe they thought they can get away with it. However, as we'll see with the iPhone 15 Pro, there are still some needs for there's still some need for a physical port to transfer things really, really quickly. Granted, the iPhone has not done that yet up until this point, and like even up until the point of this article where I am covering right now. When they announced the iPhone 15, sure, they switched to USB-C, but they were still using slow USB 2.0 speeds to transfer media, which made it impossibly long to wait for files to move between the iPhone and a computer, especially if you were using your iPhone for video, especially like now that these phones, because this is the iPhone 14 Pro, like you can shoot 4K 30 on this thing. And if you were shooting long videos, it was going to take forever to get the videos off of the device over a wired connection, which you would expect would be the fastest thing. And it still does not, it baffles me that when your computers and most computing devices are using at least USB 3.0, while your Lightning cables were still tied to USB 2.0 when it came to data transfer speeds. So good on Apple finally doing something right. Granted, they had to be forced to do it. They had to be coerced into doing it. Of course, there's a lot of people who are upgrading and say, well, I don't have a USB-C cable. Well, luckily for you, I'm pretty sure you have tons of friends who may have a spare one laying around. I know if I were to upgrade, I'd have plenty laying around. I would love to get rid of my Lightning cables. Now, my iPhone dock would be useless. That would be a fun time. But I mean, outside of that, it's not a big deal to charge my iPhone given the current situation in my home. Of course, this is getting the A16 chip. And again, so this is the base 15 lineup. It's getting the A16 chip, which was in the iPhone 14 Pro. It is coming in 6.1 and 6.7 inch displays. The plus being the 6.7 inch version. They are getting, I think, the same camera system as the 14 Pro. And there is a second gen ultra wideband chip, which apparently is supposed to help you locate friends now. Also has an increased range and allows you to find other things. So I think that's more of that work they're doing with Google to sit there and try to keep track of all of these weird trackers that people have for their items, their bikes, what have you. But also, again, because you know, you make something good, you make something small and very inexpensive, people will use them for nefarious reasons. The iPhone 15 starts at $799 and the 15 Plus is at $899. Of course, you can pre-order starting this Friday on the 15th, and they will be shipping on the 22nd. Well, I don't know if they'll begin shipping. They'll actually begin shipping before then. They should be in your hands by the 22nd. I would say it would begin shipping probably on the 21st. I'm going to say when I ordered my 14, it began shipping the day before, and like, yep, the next day I have my 14 Pro. Like I said, yeah, of course, you know, you got your dynamic island that is across all devices now. So yay. It's fine. I mean, sorry. I was moved by the dynamic island. It's what actually got me to buy a 14 Pro last year. But now it's like, now that I've had it for a year, yeah, I guess, sure. Yay. Of course, iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max replaced the mute switch with an action button. That's right. They've done it. They've made it just... This is the last physical thing that was left, right? So I'm gonna take my case here for my 14 Pro here. Yeah, the last physical thing that was left. And I'm gonna switch back here. And excuse the dirt that's gonna show up on it. But yeah, like wait, where's the light? There you go. Oh, I had it, and also, yeah. So the last physical thing right there. This is not working as well as I thought it was gonna work. Yeah, the last physical thing, that switch, it's now gone. It's being replaced with a haptic action button. So off the rip, the action button is supposed to mimic the mute button. Like if you hold the action button down, it'll switch between silent and ringer modes. Let's see here. There's something else I wanted to do. Something I was thinking of, and I forgot what it was. Damn, what the fuck was I thinking? Anywho, I don't know. It's also, yeah, it's using a titanium build. It's supposed to make it lighter. And of course, if you go to Discord, oh, I remember what I was supposed to do now. Discord, or majors.house/Discord, join the Discord server. You'll see in the memes channel, it was joked that, yes, people, like the tech reviewers that were at the event who got to hold the phone would definitely be like, oh man, it's so much lighter. It's the lightest Pro model ever. And like, y'all gotta chill with this shit, bro. Like, it's a few grams lighter, and I guess that makes a difference, but who cares? It does have thinner bezels along with it too. Apparently, it is also attributed to titanium build. Also do want to talk about they did slightly change the design of these phones. So I'm gonna blow this up here. So the iPhone 14 Pro, the iPhone 15 is similar to this, where it's like the back of the phone comes up to that camera bump more than the others. I'm gonna take the case off my phone again, because it's something that is kind of striking, where like if you look at, yeah, it's kind of hard to do. It's kind of hard to do. Let's see here. Let's switch back over. It's kind of hard to see this. Maybe focus on that. There we go. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, like the raised, okay, I keep shaking it, but yeah, the raised edge where that camera is, like you could see, especially if you're holding on to the phone, you can see it's almost like two different parts. Like the camera, like you got the back of the phone and then like the camera bump. It's almost like a piece of glass that's sit like a stained glass or whatever, frosted glass that sits on top where the camera sensors are. Here it seems like even with the, and so like I said, with the 15 with the stain, with that stained glass, that stained glass look, or that frosted glass look, it comes all the way up to and meets the wait, hold on, there we go. There's my mouse. It kind of meets where that like the table for the sensor is. So it's almost like, yeah, the phone protrude, like the back of the phone protrudes up to make this table. And they've done a lot more with the process. So they've done more with the coloring to be able to color the actual, like, I don't know, the lens frame. I don't know what they were calling this, but they've done more to color this to where it's like it's more of the phone's color and not just some standard lens color. We taking the risk with Apple again? What are we talking about? Oh no, again, I am not streaming the event. I am talking about it, Ruin. There's a difference. There's a difference. None of their footage. I mean, it's just, look, these are photos and this is a Verge article. There is a difference. My Apple recap videos stay on YouTube. The actual Apple event gets taken down. And I have tried that twice. But yeah, it's more of like they've changed like the, not so much the design, but like the process of how they're coloring the materials to make it a little bit more flush. Of course, like this titanium with this brush look here. It looks nice, but yeah, I mean, it's all right. I do like the fact that this is more black than before. I do like that though. Of course, these also did get the USB-C. And that's a customizable action button. And again, yeah, the thinner bezels because of the titanium build. So instead of the A17 Bionic, it's now the A17 Pro chip. They've changed the name, which probably means that, hey, the A17 Bionic or A17 may be in your iPhone 16. It also comes with fast USB-C charging. It doesn't say here, but in another article that came out, they're utilizing USB 3 with 10 gigabits per second, which is the standard for USB 3.1. I know, according to Benjamin Mayo, who earlier, I think it was last week, had mentioned, as a matter of fact, it was last Thursday, because it was right before TikTok Thursdays. We started streaming TikTok Thursdays last week. He had said something about the USB-C. So I'm not excited about USB-C unless they increase the the data transfer speeds. Now he said it was going to be akin to Thunderbolt. I'm not sure which version of Thunderbolt. And we can even take a look here. Let's see. iPad Pro USB-C data transfer speed. Okay, so for example, the iPad Pro uses Thunderbolt. The iPad Pro uses Thunderbolt USB-C connections that can transfer at up to 40 gigabits per second. Meanwhile, the USB-C in the iPad Air and iPad Mini manages 10 gigabits per second and 5 gigabytes per second, respectively. Which means, like, yeah, so the iPad Air, so you're moving data about as fast as an iPad Air. which is at 10 gigabits per second. That is USB 3.1. It is, so yeah, like, unfortunately, yeah, we're not getting Thunderbolt, but we are moving data a little bit faster than we've been able to move on iPhones prior to now, and it's still faster than an iPhone 15. It's still, so it's like technically faster than wireless. Mainly because of the fact that, I mean, even on a wired data connection in your home, like the most you'll get, like for a residential home, you'll get like 1 gigabit per second. I know there are some places that offer 2 and even 5, but like, let's say you went out and bought a router today and you plugged your computer into the router. Most routers only support 1 gigabit per second. So, I mean, moving things at 10 gigabits per second is pretty good. I would still like to move things at 40, but if it's fast enough to be able to use an external hard drive to record 4K 60, I'm not sure if it's 4K 60 ProRes, but I know it's, they tell like, hey, you plug a external hard drive into the Pro, you will get, you will be able to, I think you'll be able to do 4K 60. Video. I guess that's better than nothing, but like, again, I don't know how fast, like the fastest Android can do that. I still, like, again, the iPad Pro is doing Thunderbolt. Why can't we get, and then maybe Thunderbolt's not available on the mobile or SIP, the SIP. They're calling it a SIP. Like system in package or some shit like that. They don't note it here. I saw it somewhere else, but yeah, like maybe the A17 doesn't do Thunderbolt. Maybe that's something that's only in the M1. It would be nice to see it, but who knows? Maybe the A18 Pro will give you Thunderbolt. There's also faster USB-C charging. I think they were talking about like 50% in 30 minutes, I believe was the quote. I had missed part of it because, again, I was getting my hair done today and my hair was being washed as they were talking about the 15 Pro. It really, it coincided with that, and I was like, ah, damn. There's still a 48 megapixel main camera in the 15 Pro lineup. They're a little bit better specs in that camera, but on the 15 Pro Max, so here's the thing that will differentiate the Pro models now, other than its size, which means the battery will be bigger too. And they also said like the displays, or both of the, like the 15 to 15 Plus, the 15 Pro and the 14 Pro Max, the bigger screen, like the screen sizes will show you same level of shit. I had words, but I've lost it. But the big thing that will differentiate the Pro and the Pro Max outside of just the size of the device is the fact that the Pro Max will come with a 5x telephoto camera. However, they will not tell you it's telephoto. They will say it's like, yo, it's some weird thing that we developed and you should love it. It's great. Yeah, you'll love it. The 6.1 inch iPhone 15 Pro will start at $999, while the 6.7 inch iPhone 15 Pro Max will start at $1199. So yes, there was a price increase on the 15 Pro Max. However, they are doubling your storage with that too. So it's like, hey, we will get rid of this lower SKU, charge you more, but we'll give you more storage with that. So thank you, Apple overlords. Of course, the pre-orders will be starting this Friday, and you should have it in your hands by the 22nd if you get it in time. Of course, they also announced the Apple Watch Series 9. Oh, wait. Before we go any further, I did say that there was another device that they talked about today, but didn't really announce some things. The AirPods. I think it's. I'm not sure if it's just the AirPods Pro 2 or. All I know is like the AirPods case, they will be coming with USB-C ports along with them too. So they did not announce a new set of AirPods, but they said, hey, The charging case for your AirPods will have, like if you get them from now on, it will have USB-C as opposed to Lightning. So they're now phased out Lightning. There is no product that they make that uses the Lightning port for charging. So, well, I'm sorry, I take that back, because they are still making older phones. They will still sell you the 14. They will still sell you the 13, but that's it. Those are the only ones that use Lightning. I'm not the guy who needs 512 gigabytes on a phone. I don't know what the size options are. I'm not even filling up 256. I came close to filling up my 256. Let's see, we can take a look here. iPhone.com. There we go. All right, so let's view the pricing. So let's take a look at the Pro Max here. The price, sure, let's just choose a color. So we got 256, 512, and 1 terabyte for the iPhone 15 Pro Max with the telephoto camera that is not telephoto. And of course, for the 15 Pro, you get 4. So they got rid of the 128 gigabyte on the Pro Max. But yeah, 128, 256, 512, and 1 terabyte. Most people was probably sending most of their shit to iCloud or whatever anyway. And that's the thing, like they did announce new storage tiers for iCloud Plus. I'm not sure if that is in this article, but we can look into that some too. The Apple Watch Series 9 gets a performance boost. Of course, it's used the upgraded S9. Actually, this is where they were using SIP. Not the iPhones. Watch Series 9, which comes with an ultra wideband chip and an upgraded S9 processor, allowing for all-day battery life. The watch also features a double tap gesture that invokes tapping your index finger and thumb together twice to do things like answer calls or snooze an alarm. However, somebody pointed out that there's an accessibility feature that will allow you to do that on any iPhone. That this isn't tied to just the Series 9, but they were like, okay, go off, whatever. Also comes in a new pink color option, I guess, with stainless steel cases. Also to point out too that yes, Apple is moving away from leather watch bands and phone cases to reduce its carbon footprint. The Watch Series 9 starts at $399 in GPS with GPS, or $49 with GPS and cellular. Order them starting today with them being available on September 22nd. To also go back to that. So to give more context on the leather bands and phone cases, they are moving away from unsustainable cases, watch bands, to kind of say, hey, these devices, like certain devices, are carbon neutral, and they will have little things notated on the packaging that will say this device is carbon neutral. They've gone on to say like, hey, we've made the packaging smaller, which is of course something they said about the iPhones, which I know people complain about because that was a reason why iPhone removed the charging brick from them. They say they use sea versus air to ship their stuff to kind of help offset a lot of to kind of bring down the carbon footprint. This is trying to take seriously their whole carbon neutral by 2030 guideline they have, and they did a little skit that featured Olivia Spencer as Mother Nature. I gotta do some quick work in like 30 minutes. Of course, Apple Watch Ultra 2 comes with a small spec bump. Of course, it's bringing in the S9. And the screen is being upgraded to 3000 nits. So that way you can see in very, very, very bright areas. How are they going to be carbon neutral, releasing new phones every year? That's the point. Somebody made that point on Mastodon. They were like, yeah, it's not really carbon neutral if you don't allow us to repair phones, and also you keep it's like your whole thing is to buy the new one. Okay, there we go. So actually they did add it to this article. Apple is adding USB-C to AirPods Pro. Release date for iOS 17, watchOS 10, macOS, Sonoma, and more. iOS 17, watchOS 10, and iPadOS 17 will be released on September 18th. So they'll be ready just in time for your new iPhones to arrive. Which is, oh shit, that's, hold on, let me take a look. That's Monday. Maybe I should put that on something to talk about for TikTok Thursday so we can make sure we have that covered. And macOS Sonoma will be available on September 26th. There's a new roadside assistant feature via satellite. So, hey, if you happen to be caught in an area that does not have cell service, but you need some help, for the iPhone 14 and 15, you can access roadside assistance via satellite. They are partnering with AAA to help make that easy for you. And of course, they're making the service available for free for the first 2 years on the iPhone 15. Let's see here. There was some more stuff. Not sure. Oh, yes. Let's cover the dongle real quick. Yeah, if you are one of those people who might have, and so I will put it like this. This is a dumb decision. If you, like, honestly, it is cheaper. If you are looking for this you keep using your lightning cables to charge your phone or to have data transfer, just buy a new fucking cable. They are way cheaper. Look, I can give you a list of all the Anchor shit that you can ever need. I'm not a sponsor. I would love for Anchor to sponsor me, but that's neither here nor there. I will recommend Anchor just because. Buy a new cable if you are literally getting this to try to charge your phone. The only reason I would see somebody buying this, and remind you, I have not told you what the price of this is. So if you do not know, don't look it up. Don't be spoiled. It's going to be wild. The only reason I see this existing is if you are trying to connect it, if you're trying to connect something to an iPhone that is lightning only. And I do not know of many devices that are running exclusively exclusively lightning. I don't know what that device is. Have no clue. If anything, oh shit, that will not solve the problem here because that's a lightning port. Oh shit, so then I was wrong too. The Magic Trackpad still uses lightning. I forgot that this was charged and connected to your Macs via lightning. But yeah, that won't even help me with this, which is a bummer. Also, I bet you their keyboards. I bet you their keyboards are also connected via lightning, if I'm not mistaken. I have a Logitech MX keys that I use for my Mac, and that's USB-C. So yeah, I don't know what device is connected to the lightning port. There may be some, and it could be like health devices, something I don't use, and that's fine. I really hope that there are some MFI devices that are going to be out there that are going to work, or well, they would have to be MFI because it has a lightning port. But do not buy this if you're trying to charge your phone. Just buy a new fucking cable. Honestly, stop this. But this dongle will cost you $29.99. $29.99. Apple will sell you a 1 meter charging cable, which is USB-C to USB-C, for $19. I am trying to, a 1 meter long USB-C charging cable for $19. Or for $29, you can get a 2 meter, which works up to $240. watts of charging power. Both transfer data at USB-C speeds and should be sufficient for most of your day-to-day needs. There are better cables. There are better cables out there. Do not buy this. Don't do that. Weren't they charging 15 or 20 bucks for a cloth? They were charging, I think it was 10. I mean, let's see. Accessories, and I forget what it was for. What was it? Oh, so they now switched over to the fine wovens. Let's see, cases and protection. I'd imagine it being here. Maybe not. Yeah, it doesn't look like they... I mean, unless it wasn't for the iPhone. Or maybe they got, or maybe they did get rid of it. Oh, there we go. $19. Yep. Okay. I have 1, 2, 3 microfiber cloths right here alone. Yeah, that's just here. I have a whole, like, I have 2 packets of them that my father-in-law sent to me for one Christmas. I was really wondering what he was getting at about that. But, you know, actually lately I've seen my screens. They do need a cleaning. I should probably use them one day. But yeah, what are we doing? What are we doing? Do not buy these things. Or they're saying here, if you really want to get all the juice in and out of your new iPhone, especially if you're buying a 15 Pro or Pro Max, you'll need the $69 Thunderbolt 4 Pro cable. It's 1 meter long and it supports data transfers up to 40 gigabits per second, which is 20 times as fast as USB 2. It also supports fast charging, but only up to 100 watts. But see, also, it's the whole thing of 20 of those gigabytes or 30 of those gigabits per second are just being wasted. Apple. Oh man, well, let's see. They did not seem to cover, at least I don't see it here. I'm gonna click The Verge. Maybe there is a iCloud. Yes, I'm not seeing anything iCloud related. Oh, what? Really? Good news, everyone. Apple's Polishing Cloth supports the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Stop. Y'all didn't have to go that damn hard, though. Y'all didn't have to go that hard. Yeah, so I'm not seeing anything about iCloud on here. I might actually have to go look that up somewhere else because they did have some new iCloud stuff. There we go. Forward and backwards compatibility. You love to see it. So yeah, Apple today announced new 6 terabyte and 12 terabyte storage tiers for its iCloud Plus subscription service, pushing past the 2 terabytes for the first time. So they just added 2 bigger ones. Okay. So I was watching on a small phone and there's like a brief mention of this. I say a small phone, but it was my iPhone 14 Pro. But it was like a brief passing mention of this when I was able to watch things on my phone again. Also, yeah, there's something else I need to mention too. I need to pull up the gaming article that I have. Of course, every Apple ID receives 5 gigabytes of free cloud storage, but users can upgrade to a paid iCloud Plus storage subscription plan to get 50, 200 gigabytes or 2, 6, or 12 terabytes of storage. 6 terabyte iCloud Plus will be priced at $30 or $29.99 per month, while the 12 terabyte the 12 terabyte plan costs $59.99 a month. For comparison, Google's 5 terabyte and 10 terabyte cloud plans cost $24.99 and $49.99 per month, respectively. So, it's about on par, maybe. But Google's cloud does not plug in directly with my iPhone. I want the iPhone 15 Pro. I'm sorry. It's a meme from back in the day. I want the iPhone 4. Let's see here. Let's switch gears for a second. Oh, wrong one. It's about to send you up to the start screen. It's not the one I want. Let's see. Things got buried today over the Unity news. I had to scroll for a bit to find it, but I found it. Hooray! Assassin's Creed Mirage, Death Stranding, and Resident Evil Village are coming to iPhone 15 Pro. This will be also talked about on Thursday, but I figured I'd mention it here too, since we are talking about all things Apple. First off. Well, actually, not first off. Well, yeah. I would say during this iPhone event that Resident Evil Village, this year's Resident Evil 4 remake, Death Stranding, which was talked about at WWDC, but for Macs, and the upcoming Assassin's Creed Mirage are all coming to its mobile devices soon. As Apple notes, this will be the first time that a console-level Assassin's Creed game will be available natively on iPhone. Expect to see Mirage on iPhone 15 Pro and iPhone 15 Pro Max in the first half of next year. The other 3 games will be available on the devices by the end of 2023. That also seems really weird that these games will only be available on their Pro phone, be available on the Pro phone. I think this may be like the first time, and I don't know. Actually, there may have been other times where an app that a developer makes will only work on part of the lineup and not all of the lineup. Which to me, I feel like hints at some type of fragmentation. Something we seen, and like Apple fans will definitely point at Android. Like, see, look, y'all have this issue. Y'all can't just download an app. It works on everything. It only works on this phone or that phone, this phone, or that phone. It never works. It's like, well, here you go. You now have 4 games that will only be available on 2 phones out of the entire lineup of phones that Apple sells. Also, I'm not hearing if these are going to be available on the iPad Pro or any of the M1 devices or M1 or M2 devices. I imagine so, but again, not hearing it is kind of like Death Stranding was coming to the Mac when they were talking about the M2 stuff, but again, I'm not sure if, again, nobody's really said anything, so I guess we'll see when that happens. I don't not, or I do not envy anyone who playing these games on a phone. They always don't have the juice. That's what it seems like. Well, the thing is too, like a lot of people are playing games on phones. Like, to be fair, like I'm playing Starfield on my Steam Deck, which, I mean, I'm playing it through cloud gaming, which essentially is something I could play on my phone. That was supposed to be do not. Got you. Just wanted to make sure. But yeah, like I said, like I play Starfield on my Steam Deck, which is essentially like, you know, again, because it's cloud, I could do the same thing on my phone. It's not the most ideal, especially when you're playing something that is putting on a resolution of like 1440p or 4K, and then trying to resize that to a 7-inch screen with a resolution of 1200 by 800. It ain't great. It ain't pretty, and it's like you can barely read things. And then at one point, it was like it got so dark in a place that like I could not see the enemies. And I'm like, you know, I hate this. I stopped playing and just went upstairs like, all right, 1440p 32-inch monitor. Now I can see the people I am trying to shoot. What's going on, Marge? How you doing? How you living? How are you feeling? Tell me your thoughts on the iPhone. My thought is some people were going to be trying to play this touch only though. No Backblaze. No, not Backblaze. Backbone. Well, they did show off that mobile the mobile Division game that had touch controls on it. Yeah, the only issue, yeah, you're right. The only issue I have with these is that they'll be played with touch controls. It's like, seriously. But it's the thing too, like, look, you bought an iPhone 15 Pro or Pro Max. Please, for the love of God, connect the controller to this. Like a backbone at minimum. Like, what are we doing? And like I said, I mean, because these games were released on console, I have a feeling they will have the controller support. I'm like, what I need is for them to force controller support. It's like, no, we are not providing touch controls. Fuck that shit. No, you need to play this with a controller. The hell we're going to sit there and make this beautiful game for one for you to sully it on an iPhone, but then two, that have us put touch controls over so you could only see like 2/3 of it because your thumbs are in the way. Yeah, no, that's not gonna work for me, dog. I appreciate touch controls, but I'm not playing the Division or Resident Evil without a controller or without touch controls. Let's see. Apple seems to be making a bit more of a push into games lately after bringing RE Village and No Man's Sky to Mac last year, followed by Death Stranding. Where folks will be willing to play or pay full price for major titles. Let's see here. Oh wait, yeah, there's even more. There's even more stuff. Because I don't think anybody really touched on more of the gaming stuff. I figured it would have been in here, but it's not. Okay, a controller, got you. They are bringing hardware accelerated ray tracing to the 15 Pro. They kind of showed some of that stuff off, software-based ray tracing versus their hardware accelerated ray tracing. That's when I officially came back to the stream when I was getting my hair retwisted. They just had to remove ray tracing from a console game. Exactly. So like, I don't know who's going to be trying to push ray tracing on a phone, but I mean, wild. Like, it was cool, it was revolutionary, but like now it's like, do we really need it? I'm good. I'm good for right now because I feel like that's what's causing a lot of our games to break. That's why PC really isn't succeeding as much as it used to. We getting laughed at again, and I don't like that. But yeah, so they're adding hardware accelerated ray tracing. Let's see. There was something I just saw. Oh, yes, that's it. It was this, the Apple Vision Pro. And this phone, the iPhone 15 Pro, definitely sets up something for that. Like spatial recording. Dude, the phone is going to have one hell of a PC game of Shameless this year. Oh, boy. Don't remind me. Let's see. What does Engadget have listed? Oh, that's right. There is offline Siri access for the Apple Watch, which maybe, but no. Let's see. Oh, I love how the Backbone One Android controller now supports iPhone 15. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's just a USB-C controller, USB-C connected controller. It's on par with, oh, the cloth supports 15. All new GPUs have support for ray tracing. It would be odd if they didn't add it. I guess. There it is. That's the one I was looking for. The iPhone 15 Pro can take 3D spatial videos for Vision Pro users. So now it'll be less awkward for people to be watching videos on their Vision Pros. It might not be good on all GPUs, but it's an expected feature. I guess. But it's just, I mean, how will the tech get better if it's not there and it's not being used? It's a chicken and egg scenario, I guess. Somebody had to put it somewhere, so now you can have games that have it, I guess. But I guess it'll put us closer to the metaverse if we can just render our worlds with real-time ray tracing and be unable to separate reality from fiction, right? Let's see, Apple just teased an interesting feature for the just announced iPhone 15 Pro line of smartphones thanks to the redesigned camera system and the addition of the powerful A17 Pro CPU. These phones can shoot 3D spatial video and photos which can then be viewed by using the forthcoming Apple Vision Pro mixed reality headset. Now, what I would like, oh, that's a bummer. Like, here it is, the X logo, but watch on Twitter. Get your shit together, Musk. What would really be nice is for there to be a way to watch these 3D spatial videos on your phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how that would work. Because I guess it's like having the video pop out at you, the observer, from a stationary position, right? So it's not like I could take the phone and then just like rotate it, because then that's like a 360 video. Yes, we'll be using our iPhones to create content for a headset. I mean, this will be better if there was a more consumer-friendly version of the Vision device, but yeah, I don't see many people using that feature until there is unless there was another device that could actually watch those videos. It would be interesting to see if third-party developers get access to that feature, and if they can export their versions of these spatial videos to like something like the Quest or to the Vive or the Index. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it'll be just any video, and I imagine any video recorded with that spatial video format on the headset, if sent to an iPhone, will be flattened. But it's a thing of like, well, if I want to watch the spatial version that I just recorded or that somebody was sending me, could I watch it on something that isn't the Vision Pro? You know? I gotta mention, I was wondering how the hell Starfield was running so bad, and I was wondering if NVIDIA released a driver update for it. They did release something before launch, but then I saw that article about them releasing a new one today. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons, like, I wanted to play Starfield today, but I forgot to update the drivers. So I probably won't be, I will probably end the stream after I finish covering this. And I'm going to update the drivers and then just play some Starfield off stream today. It would be wasteful if you didn't intend it to use on spatial device. I'm sure there will be exporters. Yeah, that's what I would like to see. If they're going out of the way to say these new phones can create spatial videos, or again, for everybody else, these 3D videos, then I am hoping that there is a way for users to view it outside of like the Vision Pro or whatever. But yeah, I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else. Let's see. Engadget seems to have had more information. I should have went with them instead of The Verge. I might replace the article for Thursday. Let's see. I think. Oh, excuse me. Oh, tetraprisms. That's what they were calling their telephoto lens. I mean, their their telephoto lens, which was using which is literally a periscope lens. But yes, let's call it tetraprism. No image of that, but yes, tetraprisms. How do they stack up? I don't know if I would compare the Pro with the Ultra. I mean, I guess I would. I don't know. Yeah, I would put it. Honestly, I will put these up against the Pro Max as opposed to the Pro. They need to announce the Polishing Cloth 2 or Polishing Cloth X. Stop it. Let's see. Of course. Wait, I could have sworn this has 6E. I don't know why this is listed at 6. Like on their little infographic for the iPhone, I could have sworn I saw 6E. When we would make it past Snapdragons, I don't know. I could have sworn I heard a rumor somewhere. I read a rumor somewhere that Samsung was going back to Exynos. These are the Pros. It was the regular one. What are they comparing it against? The Galaxy S23. Does the refresh rate? Do they not have a refresh rate? Oh, well, I guess it's not the Pro Retina, so. I love how USB-C 2 is what's being labeled here. What did they label it? Okay, this just says USB-C. This is USB-C 3. I don't understand. Like, what is this differentiation here between this and that? What the fuck is USB-C 2 or 3? Well, I think it's the USB spec. So yeah, so USB-C 2 for like to translate from Engadget is USB 2.0, and USB-C 3 is USB 3.0, or at least with the speed spec that they gave, with the transfer speed rating they gave for the iPhone 15 Pro, it's USB 3.1. So I don't know why Engadget labeled it USB-C and USB-C 2 and USB-C 3. I mean, I feel like that's what the USB spec was at one point. That fucking weird Kingdom Hearts labeling system they were using before. It was like, you know what? Hey, we should simplify this. So, yeah, dog. Maybe you should have. Just saying. So yeah, I think that's it. Oops. I punched my mic. That's it, man. That's all I got. It compared to last year. All right, if we're going to compare iPhone announcements from this year and last year, yeah, I mean this is definitely like one of those what they call S years. Especially if you're looking at the Pro lineup, because like, yeah, the Pro is probably what they're considering their flagship device. So this is like an S year for the iPhone, where it's like, hey, it's same design. We've changed the material. We've changed the building materials. It's lighter now. We've put USB-C on it. It moves things faster. You can record spatial video and all like that. But all in all, it's still like the same phone. It did get a spec bump to where it can do a little bit more, but it's still pretty much the same phone. If you have an iPhone 14 Pro, unless you really want USB 3 and USB, or if you want USB-C that is capable of USB 3, if you want to record 4K 60 as opposed to 4K 30, if you want a lighter iPhone, sure, go ahead, knock yourself out. But if you like, is it worth upgrading from the 14 Pro? I'd say no. Just wait for the 16 Pro. Honestly, I would say wait for the 16 Pro, maybe even the 17 Pro. The 15 Pro ain't it. 15 Pro ain't it. Save your money. I have it, like, even if I was able to upgrade this year, I don't think I would. I was not really impressed by everything that they showed. I mean, I can sit here and look at the design of the 15 Pro, and it does look interesting. It is a very striking design, but I would probably have a case over it anyway. I cannot walk around with an iPhone that's not in a case. Even though I have Apple Care, I still can't do that. So it gets covered, and it wouldn't matter what the phone looks like. I don't care. So there's nothing I really would care. I don't really care much about the 15 Pro. Honestly, if you have a 14 and you're looking at the 15, I'd still say no. It's not, again, this is S tier, unless you want the dynamic island. And like, that's the biggest change. Again, that's why I went from the 12 Pro to the 14 Pro, because it had the dynamic island on the 14 Pro. If you look at the iPhone 15 and say, all right, I have the notch, I want the dynamic island. I've seen so many people use the dynamic island. That is a big enough feature where I don't care. Like, even a year in, and you're still like, I want the dynamic island. Sure. I still wouldn't say it's worth it. As someone who's had the dynamic island for a year, it's, the novelty wore off real quick. But if that's something that you got to have, go right ahead. Again, I would say, just wait. Just wait. Versus just like the regular USB-C has different specs that support different features, of course, with no way to tell which cable does what. I actually really hate discussing USB solely because of the naming. It's okay to skip a gen or two. My current phone is still good. Yeah. Like I said, yeah, my 14 Pro, I'm good. My wife's still sporting the iPhone 12. I'm not even going to ask her if she wants to upgrade. I'm pretty sure she's still good and she'll continue to rock that 12 until shit starts falling off. I do need to check its battery though, like the battery health on it. If anything, probably to take it to the Apple store, maybe get the battery replaced on it. Let's see here. The Apple Watch, still not seeing any reason to upgrade, whether you're on the Ultra or the Series 9. Or if you're on the Ultra Gen 1 or Series 8 Apple Watch, it's not worth an upgrade. Of course, again, it's a thing of like, if you were 1 to 2 generations behind, sure, why not? Knock yourself out. But if you bought a device last year, it is not worth buying one this year. Again, like I said, this is a S year. This is where they put some speed into a current design. It will be interesting to see what they do next year. Yeah, I think I'm at a point where I'd be excited to see what happens next year. Honestly, too, like I know Takal had mentioned, like, oh, they were using the Apple key, that Unity was using the Apple keynote to distract while they put out the terrible news about Unity. Yeah, no, dog, that shit blew up almost immediately. Like, that news dropped before the Apple event, and people were royally pissed. Way before the Apple event. But that to say, like, this was still a mid event, I don't think that Unity's fuck up got caught because Apple's event was mid. But also it's the thing of too, like, it was only mid for me because everything was literally announced beforehand. Just what everything was announced beforehand. Like, the big thing was telegraphed from a mile away because Apple said, yeah, we're going to put USB-C on these phones. And I think the one thing I was waiting on was what will be the transfer speeds or the data, what will be the transfer data rates on USB-C. And now that we know, that's the only thing I'm unimpressed on. The one thing I'm really upset about is they couldn't just put Thunderbolt on the 14 Pro or on the 15 Pro. Maybe it would have cost too much heat. It'd be interesting to know from an engineering perspective why they didn't do it. But it's disappointing. Like, but 10 gigabits per second is still better than whatever USB 2 was. Because motherfucker, that was slow. If there was a new sensor, then maybe upgraded to get blood oxygen. Yeah, there didn't seem like there was new sensors. The biggest thing is just, oh no, we get double tap or double click, and then which, boy, I would not put it past them to try to use that to tie it to the Vision Pro to do the haptic finger tracking gestures that you need for it. Yep, we can make it better by using your Apple Watch. If this was Tech Talk Thursday, I'll put a Negro Diamond stamp on that. I still might. But yeah, so there's the new chip allows for the double click, and there is on device Siri. But yeah, Siri's just, oh, yeah. If you know, you know. But yeah, that's all I got. Figured I'd get this out now. It's going to be the primary interaction, getting people used to it now. See, Apple knows what they're doing. But yeah, that's all I got for now. Hopefully I'll be back on Wednesday playing some more Starfield. I know I've been lacking on that, but I've been trying to play it off stream, but one, there are now, because of Starfield, I imagine there are more people using Xbox Cloud Gaming than there have ever been before. I have never had to wait to get a cloud game to run. It is so bad now that I thought that it was just for Starfield where it was like up to 40 minutes I've been hearing anecdotes of up to 40 minutes to play Starfield in the cloud. It's so bad. And I thought it was just tied to Starfield. It's so bad now. I tried to load Minecraft Dungeons from the cloud, and it was going to take me 10 minutes to do that, which means that there are so many people playing Starfield on the cloud, or so many things on the cloud. And I have to imagine it's only Starfield because this has never happened before. There's so many people playing on the cloud now that I can't play other games that isn't Starfield. That aren't Starfield. I don't know. So it's bad. You would think, but also GeForce now has that problem where there are queues for virtual hardware. So my second solution to that was, and which would be a better solution because I'm playing it at home, is streaming it from my Xbox. Well, I made the dumbass decision because of cloud gaming, and I get an error on Google Chrome when I try to close it saying like, hey, Google Chrome can't do a specific thing. Can you update it? So I went to the desktop version of my Steam Deck, updated everything in there, which also had an update for an app that I use to remote play from my Xbox. Well, because I did that, it forgot all of my credentials that were saved in that app. And there is a weird thing you have to do where you have to use either your, because it's an app for Linux. I can't remember if there's also a Windows version or whatever, but it doesn't matter. There's an app for Linux, there's an app for iOS, and there's an app for Android. You can't buy the license for the app on Linux, but it is tied to your Xbox account. So if you sign into the app on Linux, you're using your Xbox account, it will pull the license somewhere else. So like I have to download the iOS version, log into Xbox using the iOS version of the app. It'll say that, hey, I have bought this, and will let me use it on my Steam Deck. This is important because if you don't buy it, it'll only let you stream for 5 minutes before it cuts off, which kind of sucks. But hey, I mean, somebody needs to get paid, and that's fine. At least it's a one-time fee, right? However, when I updated the app, it forgot that I did that. So now I have to log in on my iPhone. The problem with that, and I don't know if somebody has pointed this out to them, or because of the fact that I use a passwordless login for Microsoft. Every time I scroll out, every time I leave that Xbox streaming app to log into Microsoft using the authenticate and then go back into the app is asking me to sign in again because it just like forgets it was doing anything. So I have to restart the process, which means I'm in an infinite loop of trying to sign in and it never works. So now I am trying to charge my Galaxy S22 Plus, so that way I can sign in on my iPhone, use the Samsung to authenticate the Microsoft account without having to switch from the fucking app on my iPhone. So that way I can get it to log in, register, recognize that I have access, or tie that access to my Xbox account. That way I can go back on my Steam Deck, log back in, it'll pull out, hey, he's bought this shit. And I can stream my console again. It is a very, very convoluted and dumb thing I have to go through, but it sounds like a lot. And I think it's a thing where it's, again, if people were signing into a Microsoft account and did not have two-factor authentication, which I still feel like a lot of people do, then it's not that big of an issue. And it may still warrant me to sit there and reach out to the devs of the app, because obviously it's being updated somewhere. I updated it on Linux to where it's like, hey, just so y'all know that when I try to do this on my iPhone using when I'm using two-factor, it bumps me out. I could never sign in on the app that I use. If I did not have a second phone, I could not log into this. And maybe they'll look into it. Maybe it's something they can do. It is very unfortunate that That is the problem I am having with this fucking app. I updated 40 apps on my iPhone today. Maybe that was one of them, and maybe they fixed that problem. I don't know. I'm gonna try and see. Look, it's 3-phone life here. I'm 3-phone Jones, baby. 3-phone Jones. Look. See, here's my Google 6A, my Pixel 6A. Yep. Okay. Look at that. I just plugged this in at the start, and it's already a 94% battery life. And that's not even the super fast charging. That's like fast. This is fast charging, not rapid. I don't know what brick I'm using for, but hey, rapid. But also, again, in like about an hour and a half, I'm almost done charging. Love that. I love it. Oh yeah. Also, speaking of fast charging, the 15 Pro does 0 to 50 in 30 minutes with the new charging with the USB-C and shit. So yeah, a lot of stuff that was talked about today. But yeah, that's just my brief overview of what happened, what was talked about today. Had to go chase down some stuff because, again, I had to go look pretty for you. My hair's done. Yes. How you doing? But yeah, that's all I got. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the Major Linux Show with no gaming. No gaming. We're just talking about tech. Yeah. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow for some actual games. Take a look at that. See how well this this driver update for Starfield looks. They said it's an over-the-air update, which I don't understand what that means. I don't know what that means for an NVIDIA driver, unless it was just like one article where they just decided to say it was over the air, and everybody's like, no, it's just a regular NVIDIA driver update. I don't see the magnifying glass icon on my GeForce Experience. Oh wait, that's a wrong one. Oh, they're just patching the existing driver. Oh, okay. That's what I read, but yeah, I forgot that part. I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, I'm not seeing an update for GeForce Now. Or GeForce Experience, not GeForce Now. That's a different app altogether. Okay, there we go. Oh, it does say a game-ready driver is available. Yeah, 537.34. Okay, so they're putting out stuff for Lies of P and Mortal Kombat 1. And Starfield performance improvements. Today, NVIDIA is releasing a resizable bar profile for Starfield, which increases performance on GeForce RTX 40 series and 30 series desktops and laptop GPUs. In our testing scenario, GeForce RTX 40 series desktops GPUs see on average a 5% increase on performance. The Starfield resizable bar update will be pushed via an over-the-air update from NVIDIA and will be available automatically apply for gamers running the latest game-ready driver. Okay, so 537.34 or the previous 537.17. So, look, they're putting out an update for Lies of P. I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to play that. And that's coming to Game Pass, so there's that. And also Mortal Kombat 1. I might pick that up. I prefer they just make people update versus a silent update. Well, that's the thing. Like, it also came alongside of a game ready driver for 2 games. It would be nice if they said, hey, it's just a part of this game ready driver, which technically it did say that kinda. But then I guess they're also like, look, some people don't update their drivers because they're not interested in playing this game here. But I don't know, just update your shit, man. Just update it. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get ready for that. And then I'm gonna play some Starfield and see how that performance difference looks. I think I have a sizable bar enabled on this motherboard, so we'll just see. We'll see those changes. Hopefully, maybe it'll stream better on Wednesday. We'll find out. Also, dude, I need to install Riva Tuner. I do. Maybe I'll do that tonight too. But before that, oh shit, it's 9:20. He's probably already in bed. So, do want to say at least good night to my son. Wish him happy birthday one more time, and then yeah, I'll be back. Well, I guess I'll do that while the drivers are installing. But yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in to another episode of the MajorLinux Show. Of course, you all could have been anywhere in the world watching any stream, or you could have been playing the game yourself, but you said no. There were new iPhones discussed. We shall discuss them, and now they have been discussed. In disgust. And of course, all I've got left to say to you wonderful people out there is I love you and peace. How? Y'all still here? Anywho, thank you so much for tuning in to another video. Really do appreciate it. Of course, if you like the content that you just saw, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things that the YouTubers ask you to do. I guess that includes me now. Anywho, yes, like, comment, subscribe. Really do appreciate it. Support the channel over Patreon, PayPal, whatever. Check out the links in the video. To anything else I might be pushing, hawking, I don't know. Did I sell out by now? I recorded this ages ago. Have I sold out? Let me know. But until then, I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.